Here comes Brycey. I'm starting with you as the guest commentator here on the desk. Where are we leaning here?
Oh, as a guest, I'm going to go for Toronto. I'm going to throw it out there. I'm just going to be incredibly biased towards Insight.
Toronto Koi is going to a grand finals. I love that from Brit to Brit. What about you?
I'm going to have to say Toronto Koi. Optic finally ended the streak of me being wrong. Hopefully Toronto Koi will win this and get back to a grand finals.
Rosalie, we're going for pick 120.
This is tough. I didn't expect you guys to be so convinced on Koi. I think this was pretty close 50-50, but after the map set, I'm going to stick with LA Thieves. I think they have a real opportunity here to go to that grand final.
She's thinking Thieves, and so am I. I want to see Scrap versus Shotzi in the grand final. We'll see if the Thieves can get there. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your elimination final with Guy Blaze.
Yeah, Chris, it's time to get this one going. And I don't want to make this too long because our players are ready to go backstage, and I'm not trying to ice them up whatsoever. But the first squad coming, they've been heating up, and they ain't going to freeze over anytime soon. Get ready for your favorite squad from the West Coast. It's the LA Thieves. Scrap, HyDra, aBeZy, and Nium. These boys been shining all weekend, hitting their form, and ready to tear down the competition. The LA Thieves are here to play. But so is their opponents. We've seen them multiple times on the main stage, and they're looking to make history with this roster. Don't count them out, because here comes Toronto Core. Kleenex, Insight, Kips, and Joe. Koi has been locked in all game. And they don't care if you cheer or if you boo. They taking all your energy to the stage. It's Koi.
Toronto Koi taking on the LA Thieves, Sake Hardpoint. Let's get it on. And we have an opener already through bar that's looking good for Thieves. Insight shut down, and that will leave just Joe. Last one left alive. Great start for LA.
Joe's got to slow it down now. Allow your teammates to get a little bit closer before you decide to strike for your big-time play, but you're currently trying to get pushed back. Scrap is taking extra space over towards rock side. Spawns are getting a little bit scattered, and Thieves shut down that first wave.
Kips over the top. He was able to keep the hard point neutral for a small time. Resets again, trying to work on moving the map around. Back in towards the bottom side of elevator. Big win there to aBeZy. Numbers now starting to build as Insight finds two. Nium, big wins over the backside of the staircase, though, will allow LA to continue to still spawn on the favored side with 10 seconds till P2.
Yeah, that's going to allow them to fight their way back in, create that extra space over at that next HP. As you are slaying your way through the middle of the map. Kips is able to find one on the OE, but he's not in, and Thieves successful on the rotation.
At least Kleenex is able to find Nium from the front. That will allow a position for Koi to set themselves up for a potential break. Now working around the back. Is that enough pressure to move the spawns around? To find out moment, yes it is. aBeZy spawns all the way out. Nium now the one locking things down in the back with the anchor position. Nade out, over, does not hit. Nium still alive, and he's still finessing in the back. Joe's able to eventually get the kill, but LA are in the time still.
Yeah, but we got to take care of Joe, because him staying alive in this position now allows two of his teammates to spawn right near him. So Scrap and HyDra need to try to hold this one down. HyDra has an F-15 to make these gunfights a little bit easier. Kleenex is knocked down to half HP. He's going to be able to clean it up. And Thieves are starting to run away with this because they've already flipped the map.
Okay, these are big eliminations right here, though. Oh, I don't until aBeZy steps on in, finds two, and just makes a constant mess of this Scrap time. And look at the minimap. Look what it does. This little bit of distraction from aBeZy now has Thieves looking to rotate early to 3. Kleenex the one trying to follow the setup.
Scrap catches the timing, so back spawn secured. There's no space, though, from the front, so you are relying on a tight setup, and you are clutching up on the majority of these fights. Boys now spawning over towards the street side. You're going one by one, and Thieves are capitalizing on it.
This has been an absolute set of dominance in the last two hills for Thieves. 76-6. Not good news early here for Toronto. Only bit of positivity you can maybe even talk about is the fact that no one from Thieves has been able to earn a streak yet, but not out of the realm of possibility for it. As again, more team shots come through. 3 dead, 1 more to find. It's a full 4-man wipe. LA gonna get over 100 points early.
Yeah, Koi need to take a breath, man.
Oh, man.
Loaded to the map because they have yet to spawn in. Still sitting at 6 on that scoreboard, and you're already put in a bad position for the next HB. Right now, the teamwork from the Thieves is shining. Now plays like this are not going to give you a chance. The rookie popping another multi. He's on 4.
2 undefeated teams on Sake, but Thieves are absolutely...
Average 3 guys.
I have the deep right.
Yo,
Pinching right. Do it back. Go front. Stay alive from the back. They're pinching Dojo. Just stay alive. Catch on time.
Yeah, Dojo right now.
Doge right now. Outer Doge. Just do that. Do that. Average streak.
You want to see?
Nice, guys. Stay alive. Nice. There's spawning bridge. There's spawning bridge.
Take our time.
Yo, 1v1. Dead.
I'm watching my own
They're
kitchen.
bringing square.
Wait. Yo, square.
Last guy.
Rotate. I got needed all the time.
I can help you over here.
Yeah, might jump out the window.
Yo, take it right now, Joe.
Slow out, Joe. And one's on hold. They're banging hold. One's on the hut.
Jump in.
Nice. Gonna be another one flying on me, though.
Nice.
Shoot it. I spawned out. They're pulling in the back. They're spawning behind you.
I'm
spawning P2 behind you. They're gonna be behind you.
Yo, take it, guys. Yo, come. Yo, Archer's kip. He's on time. I'll kill this guy. Last guy Arch.
Look on, wait.
Lock on.
Wait.
Nice, guys.
Right behind you, Tyler.
Nice,
Right behind you.
He's out of fence. He's on the time.
Yo, Nate, I'm gonna need your time here.
He's on the way.
Yo, fix it right now. One more time. Yo, fix the time. Fix.
I need it.
Yo, what's up? Last guy
Two, that's 4.
Dark Phoenix.
I heard someone.
Phoenix, close.
I soak.
Yo, window, Jamie weak.
Yo, they're gonna start running at the time.
Top window to one shot.
Nice, Warren.
It's perfect from LA. Absolutely perfect. You're hearing all the small talk. Nium doing the dirty work by sitting behind the play saying, I got that guy you're calling, and he's up to 16-9 with the Hellstorm.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than this. Core, you gotta wake the hell up right here, right now. You're still sitting at 26 points at the end of the first set of HPs. Finally, you find a couple kills to give you some mid-map control. But we need kills to Sake as well, because that's what these have been doing all throughout this game.
Yeah, can't string 2 together right now, or Toronto.
Oh, my!
We're a 16-11 with a shutdown on the inside in the hard point. And all of a sudden, this game almost gets put to bed if you win a P2 rotation here if you're LA. Toronto just desperately trying to claw their way back in, but like we say, it's just they cannot put 2 good moments back to back.
This could be the starting point, though. You're pushing these back over towards bridge side. You have the right side of the map for that P2 chain. But we just need a couple kills to go our way. Scrap walks in and finds 3 headshots. Yeah, the guy is on one right now.
And you get spawn out now for Toronto. Scrap on 4 in a row. All over. Shots to Joe Deceives. Can't quite find the kill, but 5 seconds to the new hard point opens. Spawns are good for LA. aBeZy in some trouble, but Nium's right here to help out on the backside of the bar window. And he's just going to re-wrap Toronto. Good read, though, from Joe. You have to win these spawns right here if you're Toronto and HyDra.
Yeah, I don't think anybody in the world should play this team on this map anymore, because you have won every single rotation to every money hill. Koi have yet to even reach 50 points. They're consistently trying to flood through the front door, and they're not getting the trades to make it very clean. CleanX wins one-on-one, but the cold spawn's gonna allow Thieves instantly right back in.
And they've got the numbers immediately to flood. They've never seen a fight. Oh my goodness. I mean, again, Jake, both these 2 teams were undefeated on this map. This looks like LA is just absolutely taking out the belt right now to Koi.
We're whooping them like they stole some. You reached that 200-point mark. Now you got 1 player contesting for the spawns. Thankfully, you win that gunfight. Does Koi have an opportunity now? Potentially try to chain a couple moments together. You know how impactful this P3 can be. We just got to sniff out the last guy. aBeZy valuing his life to perfection.
Oh, he may find an opportunity to take down 1. That allows a second number to join. It's going to be HyDra to aBeZy. This has to be the spark. This has to start something, because you have to keep in mind that Nium still has a Hellstorm in the back pocket if they do stretch themselves thin to 4.
Yeah, he really don't even need to use it, man. The gunnies are so hot right now for LA. They find another 2 jumping through the window. The contest is going to be here, and the close ones are still going to be here for Koi as well. So you're just going to flood through the door, get taken out 1 by 1, and now HyDra on the pinch. Doesn't find the multi, so Koi still hold.
All right. This next 20 seconds is crucial, not just to get the time, but you've got to start making some move across the map. Force the consideration of this Hellstorm to be called in earlier rather than later. Chase down on the scrap works for Joe Deceives. That's going to put some pressure over towards the P3 off the map, but Nium shuts that down immediately. He has been undeniable this weekend.
He's their fundamental guy, man. He's the guy that's keeping everything safe while all of his Slayers are just runs backside. And now time is still ticking. Koi, you gotta go. You are spawning so far, and even if you get close, we'll best the Hellstorm to push you back.
Absolutely. HyDra in a little bit of trouble on the backside of Dojo. But here's Nium filling the gap, able to help out on both sides. Shots and tags come through, and LA's just going to allow those spawns to go the way of Toronto because all you need are another 13 points. So Toronto has to break and then be perfect afterwards. Scrap, Nium able to find the shots initially. Scrap coming back into the play, and that's going to be enough to shut this down. Last bullets are in, and it's utter dominance from the LA Thieves. A lot of it coming by way of Nium, who's going to finish 28 and 18. That's what they came out of spawn with. So LA will be on the opening attack. Hard focus up through middle here. And it looks like Toronto are trying to throw a haymaker of their own. They've got a two-man push through rooftops, making all three players through roof. Scrap in trouble, he'll be followed first. No follow-up, good finish to get a little 4v2 here for Toronto.
Yeah, now HyDra's got to back. And he's going to run into so many players on the side of Koi. So an instant 1v4 opportunity for the Young Bucks, and you're going to get smoked. Joe DeCease with the wall. On their side to just run right up the middle of the map. So far, we're going to have a spread set up. He's investing 3 players over at this B site and a smoke grenade, but aBeZy strikes first.
Yeah, and HyDra just follows up, not even respecting that inside holding onto a heady, and then Nium through mid does the exact same thing. And now they say, all right, you guys want to play with a little bit of fire? Here it is.
Now it's a 1v4 for the other rookie in this lobby. Gonna be able to locate his former teammate, and Nium with the MP.
3-man hit for Toronto defensively, this time over towards the B point. 2-2 split for LA. Sniping dealt with quickly by Kips. Solid first blood. Can Toronto hold that number advantage as Scrap is playing through mid, and the Equinix is right there to shut him down 4v2 early again.
They're just gonna try to run it down on the backside over here to isolate onto aBeZy. Now it's gonna be a 1v3. HyDra knows where every single player on core are going to be, but to locate these guys, to even think about the objectives, you gotta hope to God that they give you a scam kill.
Yeah, for real. And it doesn't look like on the setup Toronto are gonna entertain the idea of doing that. Joe, first corner, shots come through, HyDra trying to find the next, not gonna happen. We've got convincing round for a convincing round so far.
Okay, aggression.
Next attack here for Toronto. Looks like for the first time we'll get a little bit of passive setup, but opening nades for LA. Land on the Kips for first blood, inside trying to snipe. Keeping it out, has Nium in his sights, but misses. HyDra down low, still threatening that mid-new connector towards couches. And once more, it's an early 4v2 again.
It's been all out defenses on this map. Insight's got the scope. I hope someone over peaks a little bit to find a kill, but Scrap is holding the heady properly. Now Joe DeCease left in a 1v4, just gonna get ran down. This is a very fast.
Holding close underneath Dojo Railway.
Gotta go quick.
Sure do. Here comes the pinch. First blood for aBeZy. Here comes HyDra. This is too simple, but the turn is decent from Kips. Now just down to Nium. 1v2. Has to kill another 20 seconds or so. Shots coming out. Able to find damage on the ball, and Nium is going to try to reset the play. The problem is Kips is going to hop off for the defuse. Nium is not going to be allowed to get an angle on this, you would think. And there it is. Defuse comes out. Defense for Nium.
Impactful play, but Koi step up that pacing. You know that potentially their setup isn't going to be right in front of us. They've already given up that Dojo space, so let's invest our smoke and continue to push them back. When you strike for that opening kill on the retake, it gives you the opportunity to win the trade effect. So Koi, again, staying strong on defense. I didn't say that all throughout stage 3.
No, actually, though, this has been a different major for this Toronto search and destroy. A couple of tags from Joe. Kips looking to play forward here at A. Defense scrambling to get back, but a couple of players do have nades that will slow down Toronto from getting into the site in the first place. So now it's just down to how do LA choose to play the site. They're going to try to contest.
Oh yeah, and that's going to play right into the playbook of what Koi wants you to do. They are ready and waiting with all NPCs in hand, and it's Kleenex able to find 3. Finally an attacking round.
Yeah, the problem is, yeah, I was going to say, the stun could still come through, so both teams aware of this play through mid-map. HyDra changes the position. Good shots from Kips. Pushes HyDra off. The follow-up is right there for Kleenex, and Joe will get another onto Scrap. So now it's just down to a 3v2. But the post-plant setup is still very formidable. Nium holds this position. Shoulder comes through. He wins the first. Opportunity to finesse for more. Still dancing. Using the clock as the biggest ally. Sets up aBeZy for a 1v2 situation. Up close and personal. First shots are there. Now to the 1v1. But he's lost Kips. 14 seconds. You've got to go if you're the rook. Gets eyes onto aBeZy, but he's not going to have time. And what a play from aBeZy. And really Nium as well to kill off so much of the clock.
Oh yeah, like if you are Koi, you were rallying all 3 players to rat back through Dragon.
The response comes through from Toronto, but that last 1v2 just a little bit too elusive. Nium, cheeky, little corner, but it gets checked. Joe's gonna find first blood. Quick hit here for Toronto. Scrap trying to hold off as much of his play as he possibly can, but as he overstayed his welcome maybe a little bit too long.
Just trying to draw the attention, man. You already see HyDra working behind, and Toronto is also able to find a kill. But now if you are Koi, you are realistically trapped in a situation you don't want to be in. Only 7 HP, you're able to stay alive, but the pressure's coming.
Yeah, the other side here's aBeZy and Scrap pushing back through. Inside able to find one of the trades. 2v2 situation. aBeZy low, trying to find the kill of the bomb carrier, which she's able to find. Down on the Kleenex, 1v2 situation.
His play call. So already Koi are thinking that they have been bamboozled. The play is going to be at hay, but no tax are being invested. He's on the opposite side, and HyDra is in a good spot to find the first kill.
And there's no follow-up here. Toronto will re-wrap it back over to the middle of the map, having not seen anything at B. HyDra's now back to full HP. And Joe's not interested. They're going to keep HyDra here, just try to gut check hit this B retake.
It's your best chance at it. You're gonna force a 3v3 on this side of the map, but you gotta go quickly because HyDra's moving.
Yeah, he's lurking. You can see Joe is very worried about that. Toronto just can't move. They can't move. They have to go quickly.
They're so scared.
Yeah, absolutely. And why wouldn't you be? Because here's HyDra around the back. He's going to find the final kill, and Scrap's double starts it off. HyDra finishes it off. And no insight, just too far out of the play. Has to go for the 1v3. Finds the first, has a chance to reset. Scrap still holding the backside of Dojo. Pushes out, gets the information that Insight's still here. Should be a chance to recollect the bomb here. Shoulders for Scrap. Oh, maybe you just missed your window right there. If you're inside, you get Scrap. Pretty much dead to rights on the outer angle. But now you know you're playing the 1v2 flat out, and with 30 seconds, Insight will back away and maybe reconsider.
He's gonna try to reset this play. Potentially calls some mind games here versus the players remaining on Thieves, but they have yet to budge. They're still locking down this B site.
Yeah, he's seeing if you can maybe pull them off the site. Not the case. So now you gotta do it hard.
His shoulder.
Absolutely. Insight gets that info though, and I love this. This is what Attach was talking about the dash. This is why you keep Insight, his ability to clutch up, and LA are getting the read. They're gonna re-wrap over to A. Can Insight get out of here? Sets himself up towards B4. Scrap, 1v1 into the opening shots, but oh, it's gonna be Nium from behind to find the final ball. Desperate push not gonna work out. Nium making sure Kleenex can't follow over through Garage, and LA will be able to set themselves up. Gonna let the EMP stay on the ground here for a moment, seeing if they can find one more wave of kills. That EMP is very close to resetting, and it will back over to mid.
The most important gunfight is going to be the one over towards mid cut. It's going to be Scrap that's able to find it. Now aBeZy and HyDra combined for 2. Your lead blocker gets caught with his knife out. So got to hit the rotation now, finesse a little bit, draw the attention on the opposite side of the map.
This is where HyDra has been so good in the overload for Thieves. Just constantly being a bother on the pitch. Waiting for his moment over through mid-map, and he loses all of his health on the front. Nice one. Kips able to come back through, find 3. He will also grab the EMP, try to follow up behind Insight and Kleenex, the long-standing Toronto duo, but not able to find the first kill or the second. Our Kleenex nor Insight, leaving it just down to Joe, and Kips tries to force it forward, but right there to beat him is Scrap for the defense.
So many goal line stops to turn this into a 2v2. Do you have a stun grenade to make this easier? Because Scrap only has attack. But all of Koi already coming off the respawn. Stuns and nades getting invested. Another stop.
Yeah, really good stuff for Toronto. Just not sitting on their heels in the minute of a possible defensive stand. They're getting forward, they're getting aggressive, and how about this? HyDra's gonna be taken prisoner. Kips the one who's got him, trying to reveal where all the players are. Scrap in some trouble. There goes the initial kill. Joe follows up. Is there's a chance to possibly get 2 players forward? Nice shots from Kips. Last one to grab is on the backside of the staircase. It's aBeZy. He finds the first. Can he get more than that? Yes, he can. Huge shoot from aBeZy. Looking for all 3, but Insight will back away. Wait for help with 20 seconds on the clock.
That looked to be like a guaranteed score there for Koi, but aBeZy gets it done with a magnificent double. Now you can turn defense into offense. Only 10 seconds remaining on the half. You see Nium setting up the pinch. aBeZy finds a frag. That's 2 kills going their way.
Joe's able to find one from the front. 3 seconds until we get to the overtime situation. The reload. 25 seconds on the clock. HyDra waiting for anyone to come help. And Toronto are bunkered up, waiting to get the read.
HyDra only has 15 seconds though, so if you're gonna rotate it over towards B, that's where you have to commit, but your lead blocker falls. A little bit of World Star action needs to go down, but ending out to draw the attention. Forces team to commit through the front, but Joe and Kleenex combined for 2. The play gets pushed away.
Up and over the railing. Nium trying to fight back to keep the EMP in front of you, but Toronto will grab. Careful. Help is on the way here for LA, but the pitch is starting to go to Thieves. HyDra once again just breaks the timing. Oh! Play, and it's 4 dead. Chance to grab and go. Kips is still going to spawn with insight immediately by this A zone. But can they hold this defensively? The EMP's rerouting back towards mid, so Toronto are going to get a lifeline to get all 4 players up to defend.
Yeah, you knew if you were Tyler aBeZy that those close ones at that A point, while getting those kills at rooftops, that's where it was going to come in for Koi. You were banking on Scrappy and your lead blocker finding that opening kill, but it gets shut down. Still with a chance at a play though, but inside of Joe, keep on trading.
Toronto staying alive, but LA continued to put together some really solid looks. 3:20 on the clock, still no score.
Back topple, draw the attention on this side of the map and hope to God that you can win a fight, but it's Joe flying and frying. That's going to be 3 dead. A couple of close dojo spawns come in, so Thieves instantly have an opportunity to stop it, and they do.
Yeah, absolutely the case. They also get the pickup through the middle of the map onto Kips, who was trying to pinch around the back. 2-2 split here for Thieves off the respawn. Shots from Joe. Can't quite finish the kill, but forces LA right to the waiting arms of insight. Really doesn't do much damage whatsoever, so you got to follow up with the SMGs behind the point. Nium trying to find some sort of an opener. Backside around the back. A couple of kills come through. Can they find a way to score? And yes, Craft able to get it right through the threshold before Joe's double comes into play.
You can see it only led to 1 score, but now at minute 45, you got to defend a little bit. Guarantee your one-on-one kills, and aBeZy have so much info in front of him.
Yeah, but watch Kips around the back. He's going to have to get here soon. He's the only defender that could possibly stop a second score from happening. HyDra trying to get around the corner. Kips can't quite find the angle, and LA gets a second score with a minute 30 on the clock.
And now you got to value your life with your aBeZy because the only
trying to make desperate plays come to life. 60 seconds. Forward block already in play for Scrap. aBeZy trying to get himself going to the middle of the map. Trophy keeping the nades safe. Here comes the follow-up push from HyDra. No knockout him to get the second, but Nium wins it with the pistol, and he will take this thing home. 3-0 the score. LA looking at a sweep.
Call of Duty from this point on. Find every single kill. We're not off to the best start. Scrap it aBeZy for 2.
HyDra with a follow-up behind that. That's another 4-man feed. Toronto are not going to have a chance to get back to this EMP quickly. It's just a victory lap right now for LA. The time of possession tells you a lot of the story. But really, you think of the narrative of Nium, from a guy who could barely get through the top 16 in challengers until the end of last year, all of a sudden thrusted into the forefront of the Rookie of the Year conversation as the LA Thieves will have a chance to meet Optic in the grand finals here in Atlanta.
And they are able to get their revenge in the same situation. You versus Koi on land at a Major. It was Koi who got the better of you at Major 2, but Thieves has shown improvement in every single game mode. And as a collective team, the teamwork is making the dream work. Hardpoint was outstanding. The S&D game plan, the mid-round adjustments were unbelievable. But just when they needed to have it, they got it done in those final moments of that overload. To win the score 4-0, but to move on to the grand finals.
Man, what a story this team has been. And it's just one of those things, like, again, coming off of the minor win, you start to see that, okay, they're unlocked. We're seeing what their potential and their ceiling could look like. In particular, again, you can talk about the MPC, getting aBeZy back to running mostly a pure sub. It forces Nium kind of more into that flex role. And again, like,